Whistleblowers, DC takeovers, and bread and circuses. There was a poet, a Roman poet by the name of Juvenal, and he wrote in his satires, he was criticizing the populace of Rome, saying that basically all the emperor needs to do is to provide some free food and some public games over, basically how people would prioritize that over any sort of political engagement and civic responsibility. And yeah, I see it. Don't you? I get emails and messages and whatnot. And again, I'm not saying that these are not true concerns. They are, but they're distractions. People haven't figured out what a distraction is. How many times have you heard the word whistleblower? Huh? How many another whistleblower comes forward. Whistleblower comes forward. Oh, boy, get them all excited on the 5. Get them all excited on MSNBC. Bring in your pundits. Let's talk about it for a while. Let's confuse and bewilder everybody. Yeah, Bill Barr and Fani Willis, they team up to sabotage Trump's comeback. Maybe. Probably. I don't know. I don't know. Again, I'm so exhausted of all the scandals, all the lies, all the nonsense out there. And then again, big announcement today. Trump's got the defense secretary. He's got Pam Bondi, and they federalized the Washington, D.C. police department, going to be putting National Guard troops on the ground. Yeah, that's nice. Whatever. Again, D.C.'s a left-wing town. They vote for this stuff. Again, if you choose to live in filth, you can live in filth. Couldn't get me to, live Washington, D.C. Oh, I got some nice areas in and around Georgetown. Sure, but there are some really bad areas there. This is a true story, in Washington, D.C. story. We had a lacrosse tournament there at one of the fancy pants prep schools where the politicians send their kids. Some of these schools outside of D.C., they look like Hogwarts, for crying out loud. McDonough and all these other ones. Anyway, neither here nor there. The hotel that the club person sent us to was in a really bad area. And I'm, one of the coaches on the team. I send out a text message picture of Marion Barry to the entire team. I'm like, we're staying at the hotel where I think Marion Barry said the bitch sent me up. Remember that whole crack thing episode? And we ended up moving to Bethesda, but quick. Whatever. Okay. You're going to federalize the police department, put people on the ground. That's going to last for a certain period of time. And the bad guys are going to go back to doing what they're going to do, because guess what? People are going to vote the same way. It is what it is. Okay. You're not going to do it forever. It's a distraction. It's a distraction, people. What are the things that are really hurting Americans right now? I'll talk about inflation, another podcast. But here, I'm going to give you some updates on some numbers. Okay. Numbers that we've covered here on the program, podcasts that we've done. The U.S. unemployment rate now for youth graduates it was 7. It's now 8.1%. 8.1%. It's up by 2 percentage points over the past 19 months. This is the levels that we saw back in 2008. Above the levels in 2001, which after 9/11. The unemployment rate for all youth is averaging 9.9%. That's not good. Again, update on homes. Right now, the latest numbers, median priced home for sale. Again, the means necessary. Okay, the median household income necessary to purchase the median size home in the United States is $124,000. 120. You got to make $124,000 a year in order to purchase a median priced home in the United States. That's 57% higher than the current median household income of $79,000. This, quite frankly, by the metrics, is the most unaffordable housing market in history. Are we dealing with the fact that private equity has bought up all of these homes? No, you're being lied to. You're being gaslighted. Told us that it's a problem of inventory. No, it's not. No, it's not. The problem is that private equity comes up, buys up entire neighborhoods, buys up entire blocks, and then wants to rent this stuff out at ridiculous prices. Oh yeah, all of these issues and these problems going on. Yet, dude, did you know? Did you take a look to see how many members of Congress? Again, they're off. They're off. Are many members of Congress, are they back in their districts? No. Did you see the picture? Dozens and dozens of members of Congress, all expense paid trip to Israel. Oh yeah. Yeah, nice vacation. They paying for a thing? Paying for a dime of this? No, Apex got that. Again, I guess it's interesting to watch the bread and circuses. Okay, mark my words, football season's right around the corner. Everyone's all excited. Sure, you're going to see Trump showing up at NFL games, maybe some college football games. Got to have UFC stuff too. Okay, pay attention to that. Pay attention to that. Don't pay attention to what's really important. The cost of living is going up here in this country. You know what? I'll bring this in here. All right. This is Fox. This is a Fox News poll. The approval rating right now for the president is 44% on the economy. 44%. Again, don't doubt me when it comes to what's going on with tariffs. These are the numbers right now. So far, this is through June. Okay. Foreign exporters have absorbed 14% of the U.S. tariffs. U.S. companies ate 64%. U.S. consumers ate 22%. Guess what? How long do you think that's going to last? How long is it going to last? I told you it was tax and companies right now. They've come out and they said, we're going to start raising our prices. Oh, corporations should eat it. They got to eat it. Well, if they eat it, guess what they're not going to do? They're not going to be using that money to hire or to expand because their tax bill just went up. Force their hand, force them to eat it. Well, they got to have to make adjustments, right? They're going to have to make adjustments, and the adjustment is going to be on towards the consumer. Again, every single metric out there, cost of living is expected to rise. Even in some of the estimates right now, they are putting the numbers, the PCI up over 3% by the end of the year. I can go on and on and on, but I've done this for some time here. Talked about the manufacturing sector here in the United States, which is fallen out of bed, completely sputtering. That was supposed to improve. It's not. Again, I said last week, I said I want the president to do well. I do. I want the country to do well. My job is to call out BS when I see it. That's what I do here. That's what I do here. It's what I've been doing for over 30 years. Okay, 25 years on air. I've been doing this a lot longer than that. And don't doubt me. You don't doubt. Go take a look for yourself. You can look at our track record of calls. You can look at all the columns we've written, the things we've talked about over the years. Time for a pivot. Time for a pivot. Enough with the bread and circuses and all the nonsense. These policies going to need to change. I don't know if the courts are going to strike it down or what. We need a change. And most certainly the people that we vote for in the People's House and the People's Senate, they might want to start actually doing their job rather than vacationing in Israel. Watchdog on wallstreet.com.